You've pressed the red button. Now, here's something of no value.
Stewart, the show was about television. You seem to have a very, very low opinion of television. So, why are we here?
Well, I think that the series is aimed, if it's aimed at anyone, it's aimed at people that think they don't really like television or comedy. The problem then, where we've shot ourselves in the foot, is how do you get those people that think they don't like comedy or television to watch a comedy programme on television? And I think if there's a flaw, if there's a gaping and obvious flaw in the whole conceit of this project, it's that. It's that it's aimed at people that are not interested in the medium on which it is being transmitted.
There are lots of accusations about fakery in television. How do you respond to accusations that you were miming your stand-up routine now?
Well, miming is a very strong word to use. At worst, what was happening is that I was going out and moving my mouth to a pre-recorded track of me saying the words. The
accusation is that that wasn't a recording of your voice. It was a recording of John Culshaw doing your voice.
Well, it was felt by people higher up at the chain of command in the BBC that John Culshaw is a voice that people feel at ease with on some level, and they're familiar with him from Dead Ringers. The problem is, where does that end? And as you know, my voice has been stripped off this interview now.
Yes.
And replaced with a recording of John Culshaw doing an impression of my voice. I've often said that success in television is not about what you're prepared to hold on to, it's about what you're prepared to give away, what trade-offs, what compromises are there.
OK, well, bearing that in mind,
yeah.
How did you react to the news that because of reduced ratings for the series so far, the shows from next week onwards are going to have you physically, but your voice replaced with John Culshaw doing George Bush?
Well, I think it might be funnier, but will it make any sense? Will it make sense for my anecdotes about my life to be done by John Culshaw in the voice of a Texan man? We don't know. It's not ideal, but it's give and take, isn't it? You know, you make a concession towards the BBC and you hope that you get back a little bit of what it was you wanted.
Now, some of my favourite shots in this particular episode are of all the faces, the face type things in the audience, sort of laughing, their sort of mouths going up and down, opening and shutting, and that sound of laughing. How was that achieved?
It's all puppetry. It's all puppetry. But there were basically local schools were approached, and we tried to involve the community in Hackney, and kids were given sponges and oranges and grapefruits and asked to kind of slit them to make mouths and draw faces on them. And then they were to come and sit in the half-light, and dimly lit. We just tried to get the lights to a low enough level where those grapefruits and sponges and oranges could pass for human faces, and the children operated them. It was all different kids, all different from all different cultural backgrounds, all having fun together, pretending to be an exclusively white audience. The lighting level was a constant hassle, because if it had been any higher, they would have been revealed as just a sort of chorus of speaking fruit.
Yeah.
But the important thing is that the community were involved, and the BBC has a lot of criticism. It's distant from ordinary people. Well, it isn't. It got a load of ordinary people, and it said to them, can you hunch up in the dark, and at the point that you're whipped, can you make a bit of fruit look like it's laughing? And if that isn't working with ordinary people, then I'd like to know what is.
Now, we have to be truthful about everything on television, including your mistakes and your outtakes, so that everyone at home can get a sense of everything that was being recorded, so there's no pulling the wool over anyone's eyes, right? So are you happy for these to go
Absolutely.
out?
I mean, I think often one of the funniest bits of any programme is actually the bits that don't make the cut.
That's right,
you know,
I know.
And
then you sort of wonder why they don't put them in.
And,
it's stupid that they've taken them out. It's almost like they don't know what they're doing.
I know,
they're putting in stuff that's less funny
than
the stuff they've taken out.
So
the idiots.
If it was up to me,
the
whole programme would be thrown in a bin,
Okay.
and burnt and replaced with the bits that were cut out.
Okay.
And I'm really glad they finally got an airing, because to me they're the bits when they're the best bits, not the bits that were worked on and written and carefully thought about, just things where someone swore or said the wrong word.
Okay, well, let's take a look.
I've had another blank there, so I'm just going to look at... if you're near the front, you can see I've got loads of cues written on my hand here. I've got a lot to remember tonight. This show I've talked about Russell Brand and Dan Brown, celebrity hardbacks. And if you're near the front now, you can see I'm just doing hand there, hand. Talk about what's on my hand. Yeah. That still hasn't come to me. A man's handed me a piece of paper here, which has a lot of information on it, although none of it was what I was hoping to see. So we'll come back and do a pick-up of that at the end of the show as a concession to the falsehood of television. Well, it's going well, wasn't it? My idea for these shows was I wanted to recreate as accurately as possible the genuine atmosphere of doing a live gig, but now it's with some relief that I realise that I haven't done that. In a live gig, this would be an appalling situation. I feel I've lost the trust of the crowd now. Oh no, it's come back. Oh, even more trust than there was before. Peaking, ebbing away. Yeah, that's like a heckle, but it's patronising, isn't it? That's like someone going, "Go on, you're all right. Go on, Stu. Go on, try and speak. Try and speak a coherent sentence. Go on. You can do it. Go on, Stu. Go on, try and speak this bit. Oh, all right. All right, you badgered me into it. But what happened to Ant and Dec? They used to be great, didn't they? And now they preside over I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. They harm insects. They humiliate vulnerable celebrities. They teach us to fear nature. Could it be flinging insects into the berry-brown face of Robert Kilroy's sink? That could probably be dubbed in an edit. But I'd have to go in and sit in a room saying the word silk over and over again. It'd be tedious beyond imagination. I'll go back now and correct it. Once again, this could be removed in the edit, or it could be kept in as a postmodern commentary on television. But of course it would go against the grain of the BBC's current commitment to honesty in broadcasting. He clearly fabricated something that was obviously a mistake. That's probably in breach of some sort of guideline, although they keep changing. It's a very difficult time to be making television for anyone who's interested, and it's Jonathan Ross's fault.
There is an outtake in one of those shows when you're meant to be talking about Kilroy Silk, but you actually say Kilroy Sink.
Oh yes, I remember
and
that.
I was just wondering why you said that.
Well, I think that there was a lot to remember, and I was hot and tired and under a lot of stress, and I think I just got one of the letters in the word wrong. I don't think it.
Well,
meant
no,
anything.
I'm not so sure, because a neighbour of yours was found dead that week, and he's called Roy Sink.
If you're suggesting that a mistake that I made on live television is actually a clue to an unsolved crime, then I think that you might want to think very carefully about what it is that you're saying. Because I
have thought.
Well, I wasn't. Mr. Sink and I had had some disagreements about the fence, and also I objected to the fact that he had, in contravention of the conservation area legislation, put a huge metal advertisement for his building on the outside of my wall, because he was the leaseholder of the building. But to say that I would go so far as to surprise him in an alleyway and attack him and kill him and then try and conceal the body is insane. And then also to go further and suggest that I would betray that by messing up his name with Robert Kilroy's Silk on television is frankly ludicrous.
Nobody's saying
no
that.
one's, I know
Nobody's saying
that,
anything.
you know.
Nobody's saying anything.
Saying anything.
That's all. No. And just finally, we noticed that you've also submitted to the producer of the series titles of other television shows that you would like to maybe take up to the commissioning team at the BBC.
Yeah.
And we just wondered if you could give us an insight into what some of these ideas were. Stewart Lee Just Wants to Dance.
I've noticed as a lot of these dancing programmes have been very popular, and I thought, was there some way that I could combine me, Stewart Lee, with the idea of dance? And so I thought of the title, Stewart Lee Just Wants to Dance.
Give me the lifestyle of St Augustine with Stewart Lee.
I'm very much hope to make that. I know that everyone at home, people are always interested in the exact details of the day-to-day lifestyle of ancient religious figures. And to see someone ill-equipped to survive those restrictions, forced to take them on, I think would be enjoyable for anyone. Basically, I see it as a kind of ecclesiastical version of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, except the flinging of insects would be replaced with the reading of psalms and the tolling of bells.
Stewart Lee's Pineapple Ballads.
Well, we all love ballads, don't we? And we all like pineapples. And hopefully after this series, a lot of people would like me. And I thought, well, what better way of combining all those three things than in a programme called Stewart Lee's Pineapple Ballads?
Stewart Lee's Involuntary Euthanasia Dance Calculator.
Yeah, well, that's really just a collision of random words. But at this stage, I'd reached the point where I just thought, I'll just write down anything and see what happens. It's like throwing shit against a wall.
With Stewart Lee.